Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Merp.
Merp. All right, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we're going to start off by telling you all the stuff we've been up to this week, all the games and real life stuff.
It's like I'm trying to remember I have stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. And then we'll be jumping into
In real life stuff.
like RuneScape, but not RuneScape.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting like a teaser for the RuneScape survival game Dragonwilds. It looks interesting. It kind of looks like Valheim. People are saying that a lot. I've never played Valheim, but I've seen him play a lot of Valheim.
Yeah, it's just a survival craft game, so you're going to be crafting stuff, and they'll have a live stream showing it off on April 15th. I assume it'll release like that day or the following week, because
it vaguely says spring.
Yeah, it should release fairly soon, but anyways, you can check it out there. They also have YouTube videos about it, and yeah, it kind of just seems like a very early development version of Valheim.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, we can jump into the actual poll after that, which is poll 83. This is the patch for this week, which was that poll. It was all pretty much just Castle Wars updates. If you don't like Castle Wars, then there's really not much going on this week.
Well, there's a few other things. There's at least one thing that will actually affect most people.
Yeah,
it's not huge.
The thing is, it also won't at the same time, and I'll tell you why.
The first time you see it, you're like, what? That's how I feel.
Yeah, I often like to bring 5 and 1 runes.
Just let's just move on.
Is with me when I go places. But yeah, so we'll go over that, and then of course, as always, we'll end off with our Q&A. If you want to ask us any questions about RuneScape, other games, or real life stuff, feel free to on any of our socials listed down below at the end, or pretty much anywhere. And also come over to our discord.gg/Bunebape, and we have a question section there. That's great as well.
Cool.
Yeah, but before we get into all that cool stuff, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. In RuneScape.
In RuneScape.
I'm gonna tell them some of the in real life stuff.
It's not going well outside of RuneScape.
It's not like bad, but anyway, I'll start with RuneScape. I was doing a lot of miscellaneous bossing, which was a lot of fun. I didn't get anything crazy, but I got the Sears ring, which is the only ring I was missing from DKs, so that's kind of cool.
T-bows.
No T-bows from DKs. No T-bows from Chambers either. I was kind of expecting at DKs, but at least at Chambers, right? But that's okay. Me and Wraith have been saying 3 raids a night. Usually I do like 2 and then switch to Skyrim, but I'm having a lot of fun with RuneScape, so I've kind of just been playing that priority.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like super into it right now. My current task is Abbey Demon, so Event Sire, because I finished my Araxxor task, and then I got Smoke Devil, so I went to Thermi, and then I got DK, or Dagonoth, so I went to the DKs. And I'm like, I didn't really do much Slayer bossing on my way to 99 because I just wanted to get 99. So I don't have the most KC at a lot of these things. So catching up now.
Did you get the DK Twisted Bow? The Seer Cull?
Yeah, I actually did.
Nice.
I've gotten it before though. I'm only missing the pets now. Seer's ring was the only thing I was missing before, and I got that. I only have like 150 KC at all of them.
Big.
So kind of spooned, I think. I also got another Berserker the other day. I found like 3.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. That's what I've been doing in RuneScape, and then in real life, I'm just gonna do a quick rundown. So this week's been a little bit of like a series of unfortunate events, I guess. So I've mentioned that I like help with messages at work. I get like 5% more money whenever I do that, and they just announced that pretty much they're probably going to be ending the temporary role that I've been doing soon. I could apply to do that full time, but I'd have to work weekends and potentially second shift.
This is a really long story to tell you that she is getting a different job.
No, I really wanted to explain it because that was the first bad thing. And then the second bad thing after that, my supervisor told me yesterday, because I'm per diem, but I've been able to work full time this entire time. He was like, yeah, by the way, next month they're going to start having per diem only work 3 days a week. That was the second bad thing. And I was like, oh my God. But I guess like I could use that time to apply for more jobs. Third bad thing today, mine isn't going to be for another month because I'm still helping out with messages. But my other coworkers were like, yeah, our shifts were like 3 days one week, 2 days another week, 1 day another week. So it's just like snowballing worse and worse right now. So I'm just applying for a ton of jobs within the same company because it's easy and I could email the recruiters directly. And I'm kind of just like in denial. I'm like, it won't affect me.
Yeah, so for everyone that doesn't watch and listen to everything Michelle's ever said, because you would have to in order to follow that story,
I need to tell someone.
her hours are getting cut, and so
My hours
she's
are getting
looking
cut.
for a new job.
Yes, about the same company because I have access to every recruiter's name and email. So I just know this one woman hates to see me come in because I send her messages like every other day. I'm like, hey girl, my name's Michelle. I even like asked my coworker Rob, like, do I keep introducing myself? Like she knows. Like I've sent her so many emails, but I just do it anyway. I'm like, you've probably never heard of me.
True.
But yeah, the one I'm really excited for that I applied for and I'm actually qualified for starts at 5 a.m. So we'll see how that would affect the stream if I get it. I probably won't.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's called reverse psychology. If I say that, then I might get it.
Wow. Incredibly reverse.
Uh-huh.
Uno reversed everyone
Uno
that's
reverse.
listening.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I honestly randomly have been playing like a few just different random games that I've never even brought up before. There's gonna be a really big Path of Exile patch. Everyone was hoping the patch notes were going to come out today. I don't think they came out today because it's like New Zealand is where the game's developed. So if they come out with anything, it's like around noon.
Oh,
There hasn't been anything as far as I know. So unless they're working and putting it out at midnight their time, chances are it'll be tomorrow, which is funny because the actual patch would be the day after. A lot of people like to have plans before.
some prep.
Yeah, and
Isn't PoE like isn't that one of those ones where people really like to theorycraft?
yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people usually like to, but they clearly just like there's like a lot of stuff going into it. So a lot of last minute arrangements. So that there's not going to be any patch notes probably today, but just tomorrow, the day before.
I have a question, and I could cut it out if you don't want me to keep it in. Are you going to do the 10-hour review of it? We've been a little busy in real life, so both of us haven't been doing video stuff.
Yeah, I was planning on it.
Yeah. We've been going to the gym. So
I actually
like,
kind of forgot about it, but yeah.
Oh, well, reminder.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the new. There's a new Ascendancy, so it'll be kind of like new, but that'll be cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's called the Smith of Katava. You can like make your own armor and weapons and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But anyways, hopefully it'll be cool. And besides that, I've been playing some Borderlands. I sounded fun.
Yeah.
Wanted to shoot some stuff, and that's really fun. That game's really cool. Borderlands 4 is coming out later this year. For anyone that didn't know, I didn't know. But
You said I'd probably like it.
Everyone would probably like it. It's a really funny game, and it's a good game. All of them have been good, arguably. So that was pretty cool.
Arguably.
And yeah, definitely some of them less good than others.
Okay.
But besides that, yeah, I haven't really been playing it too much. Just a bit of Path of Exile and yeah, RuneScape, or not RuneScape, Borderlands.
I wish RuneScape.
Definitely not RuneScape. But yeah, besides that, I've been reading a lot about RuneScape though, because there was some interesting stuff this week in RuneScape.
Oh, the community?
Yes.
You have your phone, do you remember?
I don't have my phone on me.
Let's see if you remember.
I do kind of remember. By that, I mean I have.
He's pulling up the Reddit.
I have the Reddit pulled up. So I mean,
yeah.
Anyways,
also, like, I've been wanting to upload more highlight videos and stuff too, but I wasn't joking. Like, we did start going to the gym last week, so we have so much less time now.
Yeah. Also, really sore.
Yeah, my chest is sore. You guys can probably see, like, I look so strong. I look jacked.
I barely fit in the frame anymore.
I don't fit. Do you see how this arm's not in it? If you can see the video, that's because it's muscle out.
Yeah,
it goes back 3 feet.
She looks like one of those people that has like
a little deformed,
injected all the fluids into her muscles.
Exactly.
That's what she looks like.
Exactly.
But no, don't do that. It's incredibly dangerous.
Don't take health tips from us ever in your life.
But no, big update this week from RuneScape. They made it so if you are in a clan with more than 5 people, you now have to have a separate RuneScape clan fee. So you have to buy bonds for your clan because it's taking up too much of the server.
You can't trick me. I know that this must have been an April Fool's joke.
What do you mean?
It was posted on April Fool's.
Oh, well. Anyways, this...
You can't bamboozle me, Rover.
Whenever I read this, I honestly was like, oh, okay. Like, this legitimately seemed like something they would do.
No, I don't think that they even did. I think some of the community made this. You're trying to trick me. Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Someone
no.
posted in our Discord too.
This, I honestly, whenever I read it, I was
You're
like,
like, that tracks.
I was like on my morning commute on like Monday, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I literally did not think. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter to us because like no one's really in our like clan or anything like that.
Fees
So
will have a set price of $10 a month for clans, upwards of 100 participants. Each 100 clan members will have an additional cost of $4.99.
yeah.
That'd be crazy if they implement something like that.
Honestly, I legit, based on how much they've raised the prices and everything, I honestly was like, oh, this seems to track. I did not even think about it.
Did you not catch into the last paragraph?
No. Eventually, I kind of was like, oh, this is kind of weird. And then, yeah, and then at the end, they pretty much like say that it was like April Fool's thing.
That's
so.
a very mean you thing, though, to read all of this and not read the last paragraph where it says April Fool's.
Yeah.
And be like, oh my God.
And then another one that I thought was really good was this person was able to successfully, they did a really good job shopping this photo to make it look like they were at an area kind of like what you'd expect Yama's area to look like, saying that they were, you know, showing off that they had just gotten an Oathbreaker armor shard from Yama. It even includes,
I hate April Fool's Day.
it includes the boss's best time. It includes the drop in the chat. It includes
It's really well done.
Shouting it out to the group. It even has like, he even has like best in slot armor. The map is done correctly. There's a collection log slot. The inventory looks like it might even be like a real inventory someone would use here. And it says the only thing that like really gives it away is that it does say that it's April 13th, 2025 or something.
Where does it say that?
It says it on the over the report.
Oh,
Yeah.
If they would have put April 1st, people probably wouldn't have even realized.
Yeah, so this one I thought was really good. A lot of people in the comments were like, "Oh, I actually went and like checked if the boss was even out."
I reposted 2 tweets on April Fools. The first one said, April Fools, so I'm a fool because you betrayed my trust. I'm a fool for holding what you say with complete sincerity. I'm not the fool, you are.
Oh, okay.
And then another one says that April Fool's Day feels like this when you have a pure heart that's open to believing, and it's a lamb getting bitten by a bunch of wolves.
So you.
Yes. That's how I feel whenever I see these pranks. I'm like, why would you lie to me?
Why?
How? I don't know what's even true anymore.
No one knows, dude.
No one knows.
I thought those were done pretty well.
Those were, especially the screenshot. That was crazy good.
Yeah, the screenshot was done really well. There's like very few elements that are like obvious that it's like fake.
Yeah.
So it was pretty believable.
Do you guys prank people for April Fools? Have you ever pranked anyone for April Fools?
No, not beyond like, oh, you know,
Like saying a joke.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's pizza day at school, and I'm like, nah, just kidding, dude. It's April Fool's, but you know, like nothing real. Like I don't prank people.
I think my younger sister did this maybe multiple times to my mom over time, but
She would stab her.
April Fools.
April Fools.
We had like a kitchen sink, you know, that had a handle that you can hold down to make it spray, and she put a hair tie on it. And it's kind of messed up now that like we're working adults, but my mom was getting ready for work and was about to leave, and she turned on the sink and it just sprayed her clothes with water.
Dude, that is really rude.
Mean.
That is messed up.
Oh my God. Like I'm like on the verge of running late every day. I'd be so sad if that happened to me.
Why would she do that?
Because she was like 14.
Yeah.
And then
You guys are the worst.
and then my oldest sister several years ago, this must have been like 2018 because it was before I stopped eating meat. But April Fool's was like around Easter or something, and she made us a bunch of cake pops, and she filmed us eating it, which was like weird, and it was freaking meatballs covered in icing. It was so gross, and like my dad was trying to be nice about it. He was like, "Huh, interesting," which is so weird too. I'm like, it's a meatball.
It's so funny because like I swear I've never eaten a cake pop in like less than, you know, maybe 1.5 bites. So like
Ew,
it would just
she was
be
probably
gone.
hoping that would happen. I was not sure what she was filming, so I was taking like a really tiny bite. I didn't really get that much meat in it, thank God.
If she's sitting there filming, I am not taking a bite.
She like made it seem like she's excited and it's Easter and we have family visiting.
Nope. Nope, you can't fool
You
me.
just ho.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fooled can't get fooled again.
I actually did get pranked on April Fools. It was Moose and Goose's first birthday. Happy birthday, Moose and Goose. We were giving him little churro treats. Moose acts like he's never eaten in his life before when he sees a churro treat. Immediately, like, deep throating
bro,
it.
this wasn't a real prank. Are
It
you
felt
really
like a
about to say
prank.
this?
He bit my finger because he thought I was a churro treat.
Oh my god.
I was trying to pull it away from him. I was bleeding.
That is not an April Fool.
Yeah, it is. I was a fool on April because I got bit by a cat.
Anyways,
Why don't you let me have fun?
Something I thought was actually interesting that I kind of wanted to
Whoa.
get your
That wasn't interesting?
yeah, so something I wanted to get your and other people's take on.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of interesting because I just read it today. Someone said that I think this is a sane take.
Okay.
They said as far as sailing goes, they would rather wait 6 more months for additional mid/end game to be like built out for the skill to fully come out instead of coming out early with just not a ton of stuff to do.
I agree. The thing is, I don't think that I think that they think they have mid-end game content. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, I think that they're like, yep, you guys will just do this till 99. Like, that's what they think. And they're not, I don't think that they realize that it seems like a little unfinished, you know?
Who's they?
The team making it.
Oh, okay, the developers.
Yeah, the developers.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who you're referencing. You just say
Yeah.
they.
Because I forgot what the team was called again. Developers.
Yeah.
I think the developers think that what they have is what people want to do till 99. But I agree. I've already said, like, I'm happy waiting as long as it takes. I think that it should have stuff that you get like later on, because they haven't really said anything that they're like, you unlock this at level 80, you know?
Yeah.
Other than like probably upgrades, but I agree. I think that there should have stuff like that built in before it's released.
Yeah, this person was saying that despite them being pro sailing, they would prefer if there was like potentially, you know, whatever it is, more additional complex interactions on the boat, immersive islands, PvM, PvP, and the skill should be fairly expansive before its release.
Well, to be fair, we are going to get the PvM PvP when it's released.
Yeah.
That was just the alpha.
I do kind of see where they're coming from with that one. The next one, I think it's just unrealistic. They said that maybe 6 months from now isn't long enough because I don't know. I think they were planning
I think it'd
on
be 6 months out at earliest regardless.
Yeah, no. I think they're saying like 6 months from now is kind of when the skills like planning on getting released. So they were saying an additional 6 months. They were saying that they would hope for additional alphas and betas, and it's kind of funny because they say in order to flush out more content, it's
flesh out.
It's flesh out, brother.
I like flesh out. That's funnier.
Yeah. So I think it would not be a terrible. I don't think that's feasible that they're going to do alphas and betas and stuff like that. I think if anything, they would have one more beta, like literally one, just to like kind of see if the skill actually works. But I don't see this happening, but I can see where it's coming from.
Yeah, I think the first reply is actually fair, though. I agree, but the first reply from Abstract Tyler, one of the problems with development is that it's often easier to design content when you have a baseline understanding of how users are interacting with your design. I'd like it to be 100% complete as well, but hopefully they can use the insight to make some begging sailing content. Yeah. Which is fair, because like, what if they do the end game and like it sucks and no one even realizes for like 2 months?
True, maybe. I'm
so torn.
It's funny because I am torn as well, because Path of Exile 2, the game I was just hyping up, kind of did this, and I don't think it was good for the game.
Oh.
Where and by doing this, I mean they kind of just pushed the game out and hopefully were able to, because whenever you do that and then you're like, oh, I'll just rewrite stuff as it happens, you have to iterate on the game incredibly fast, or it'll feel bad and people will stop playing or not like it, or both. So, and they didn't do that. This is their first big actual additional update for Path of Exile in 3 months. It's too slow. And the thing is, you have to really listen to the community, or you're updates won't be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like tough because you have to do one or the other and do it really well, or they'll backfire. Is
Yeah.
what it seems like. So I don't know. Like I agree, but also it's like kind of really hard to do either one.
I just don't. What I'm torn about is just like, because people are gonna immediately grind to 99.
Yeah, of course.
So
Within the same.
is it gonna be like the worst grinding, or? I mean, I don't know.
I honestly imagine, if possible, people will get it within the first. If possible, like people might find bugs that allow them to get it in like the first 24 hours.
99? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, unless they have everything fully ironed out, I think people will almost assuredly get 99.
What's the fastest you can get 99? Like
you can get 99 fletching in like 4 hours.
No, but it's not going to be fletching or construction is the thing. I'm trying to think of what's not like bank standing or crazy XP. What about like fishing?
You can do like 2-tick fishing for like 150,000 an hour or something like that.
Okay, so that's like still a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, that's 13 mil, so yeah, that's like 100 hours.
Yeah, I'm imagining sleep.
Yeah,
and then doing it full time as a job.
Yeah,
I think first 99 in 2 weeks.
I could see it. Like I said, if there is a way, I could see it being done in as little as a day, realistically a couple days, and by legitimate means 1 week.
Wow, we'll see.
I don't think
2 weeks is gonna be trying hard.
I don't think you understand how much people play this game.
Oh, I do, but I think that this is not going to be that fast of a skill. I don't think it's gonna be that slow.
But yeah, I guess some people make slow skills fast though.
Yeah, I know, but even like doing that, like trying to find tick manipulation and stuff like that, it's going to take a few days to even find those metas.
Maybe.
I'm not doing on future. I'm just saying like the first person to max or to get 99, I think it'll take like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but either way,
Do you think a week max?
I don't know.
We can guess more later once we know more XP rates.
Yeah, I think a week max.
We're just guessing without having any idea how XP will work.
Absolutely max.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be way before that.
Don't make me doubt myself.
Like actually legitimately, but I think a week max for sure.
Okay.
Also, it also kind of doesn't matter because this game, it's not like the end game is sailing.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, I think this question kind of is a garbage question ultimately, because it's not like, oh, 99 sailing sucks. Who cares? You're gonna go do top. Like, you don't need sailing to go do top. Like,
yeah, it's just getting your max K back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
But you don't want to have a bad time training.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I guess fixing things won't really matter as far as training goes, because it's just probably going to be the same thing anyways.
Yeah.
With adjusted rates. That being said, I think it would be a good strategy if you are wanting to get your max cape, or if you just want to dive into the skill. I think you should do it early, because one, you're either going to jump in and get issues right away, in which case you can just forget about it and then do something else, or you can find some really busted stuff and get like, giga loot or XP really easily. And unless people super abuse it, like it's like easy 99s, then they're not going to roll it back.
It might last a few weeks before it gets fixed.
Yeah, it's like, unless it's seriously busted, they're not going to roll it back.
Are we encouraging bug abuse?
Yeah, dude, that's what the saying goes. It's abuse early and abuse often, because things like, I mean, like everyone that did all of the like records or farming whenever the blowpipe was really good, I mean, that's not early and often, but it's like the same methodology. It's like, if it's the best thing, just use it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
just don't get me in trouble for agreeing with that.
But I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, let us know what you think. Should they, if given the opportunity, should they wait 6 months to flush out the extra content?
Flush it out.
Flush it out.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Next up, announcing RuneScape Dragonwilds.
Why'd you say it all weird?
Because I was like hesitating. I was like, am I talking? Are you talking?
Yeah, this isn't RuneScape related or anything like that, but Mod Aiza made a post over on the subreddit, and also they have a news post here on the actual RuneScape site announcing this other game.
Yeah, they said that a lot of people have tried the game and that work for Jagex, and they've all really enjoyed their time with it, and they think we'll love it and appreciate it.
There was also a closed alpha that people have weighed in on, the subreddit and kind of told about their story and stuff like that.
That was like last year you had to apply to get into that.
Yeah, it was closed, and it was, I don't know if it was directly under NDA, but
I'm sure it was.
I haven't seen anything about it, so I assume so.
But anyway, hello Gillinor. It doesn't take place in Gillinor, I guess. We're so delighted to finally be able to introduce you to RuneScape Dragonwilds, an all-new standalone co-op survival game in the RuneScape universe. An undiscovered continent has emerged from the Veil with a promise of adventure. They do have a chat with their executive producer, Maud Dutch, if you want to hear like more details about this. They're going to have a live stream on April 15th at 5 p.m. BST. And there is a little teaser trailer. It looks very pretty. It does look like, from what I've seen you play Valheim, though. But it's cute. Like, it looks like it has like RuneScape skills. They say, we've always firmly believed that Jagex is at its best when we work with players, and Dragonwilds is no exception. Our sibling games, RuneScape and OSRS, bring scapers on the journey with them, and each game's updates are all the better for it. You may remember that we put out the call for alpha testers in September, and since then we've been rigorously testing the game with you, the community. The feedback that we received from our alpha testers has been instrumental in helping us understand our direction and helping us do everything we can to make this game the best that could possibly be. They're really hyping you guys up.
Yeah, sure.
For that same reason, we are going to get early access to this on Steam. Doesn't say when, that's the spring 2025.
Yeah, this is an early access title.
Yeah.
Brother.
It's been an amazing journey for us on the team to see thousands of you taking a deep dive. How many people were in this alpha testing? Thousands?
Yeah, I think it was probably a couple thousand.
Oh, wow. People have made fan art, memes. There's been crazy bases built and challenge run. I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah, maybe it was an NDA, but just...
I'm like, is this like internal memes? I didn't see a single meme.
No, yeah.
I mean, they might have a Discord to be like, here you guys go.
Yeah.
For now, be sure to add the Steam game to your wish list so you'll get reminded whenever it's posted. I went and added to my wish list, actually. And they're going to have more news coming out in that live stream we mentioned on April 15th. I'm assuming we're going to get a release date then, but not guaranteed. See you in Ashenfall. That's their Gilmore.
I don't know. It's weird because a lot of people...
It feels... That whole thing read like I was reading about RuneScape in a parallel universe, by the way.
Yeah.
Like nothing rolled off the tongue yet.
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of complaining that this is supposed to be, Gilnor related, like RuneScape related.
I'm confused because they called it a new continent, but they also say like, hello Gilnor, like it's not Gilnor.
Yeah.
Gilnor's like the world.
The thing is, like, it's kind of mismatchy in that way because, like, for instance, you get to talk to...
I saw the wise old man.
Who's essentially the wise old man.
That was like Elvarg.
You get to fight a green dragon, which is essentially Elvarg. But it's not like you don't ever go to Lumbridge.
Yeah.
Like there's no Lumbridge, there's no Varrock, nothing like that.
I guess I'm just gonna think of it as like a parallel universe.
Yeah, like it's 3D. It's very different, even though it like is supposed to kind of be the same.
I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously RuneScape's not a survival craft game.
It's just weird because like also like even like small details, like for instance the logs, they're not named like oak or anything like that. They're like ash logs. Yeah, so it's like even small things like that, like there's pretty much no like references to Gilnor outside of the wise old man.
I think that this is just Jagex releasing a game that they're like, you know what, heck it, just throw some RuneScape references in so those losers will play too.
Yeah,
and
it's possible.
Hook, line, and sinker, I'm in. It's added on my wish list. I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to play it. It is unfortunate that they're entering into the genre that is like notorious for people just like being like, all right, here's our early access survival game.
And then they never finish it.
That we made in Unity specifically, which is a development environment that's very easy to begin making a game in. And then here's all the stuff we'll add to the game for sure, totally. And then they don't.
I think games shouldn't have early access low-key for that reason, because they might just never finish it.
Well,
Just wait to post it.
yeah,
right?
I mean, I guess so, but also that's like kind of the point is like people are just so interested in getting whatever that they don't care that it's early access.
I mean, yeah, kind of like Sons of the Father, Sons of the Forest.
I was like, Sins of the Father. What are you talking about?
Sons of the Forest. Like, I finished that game, but I'm pretty sure it was actually only early access, so there's probably way more stuff in it now.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I heard that there was.
Yeah. But
Of course, it was fun.
So this genre is famous for rug pulls. So if you are apprehensive, then maybe just wait for other people to try it out. It does, from what everyone apparently equates it to, is like medieval Valheim, which for anyone that doesn't know, Valheim is an incredibly popular game. If you're deciding between one or the other,
fun.
just get Valheim. It's already a good game. It has like, magic and armor and weapons building, all the same things. So if you have played it, apparently it is like that here, except there is an addition of like magic, which I guess is cool.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can check it out. It'll be, out pretty soon. There is a really unfortunate truth for this though that has already been confirmed by Mod Doom, which I guess is like one of the big wig guys.
I saw they said that if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy that they could make that work.
No,
kidding.
But what is really unfortunate is, one, you can play it on Steam, which is cool.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Everyone likes playing games on Steam.
Everyone does.
The weird thing though is no one likes playing things on the Epic launcher, except for Fortnite. That's the only good thing on there.
Until now.
This game is not on the Epic launcher. That being said, if you ever want to play online, this is a 1 to 4 player co-op game. If you ever want to play online with your friends, you need to sign in with your Epic login.
That's kind of lame.
And this is because,
I'll do it, but
like I
it's
said,
lame.
this game was made in
Unity.
I think it's Unity. They use the Epic engine for online specifically. And it just is a really easy way, I guess, for them to link the game with the internet. So they went with that option.
Okay.
So it's kind of lame. If you want to play by yourself, you don't have to do that. You could just play offline from Steam the whole time, and that's fine. But yeah, you do have to make an additional account if you do want to play online with your friends. And they did say, I don't know how serious Mod Doom was about this, but they did say that this will also help with cross-play later on for like consoles and stuff like that.
Cool.
So yeah, kind of. I know
really,
a lot of
but
people.
cool.
I know a lot of people really hate the additional account creation thing. So
I already
had to
have
bring it
one
up.
because Rob made me play Fortnite.
Yeah, if you already have one,
Different
it's not
Rob.
that as big a deal.
Moving on to the next update.
Yes, we have Poll 83 Castle Wars.
Woo!
Many wars and many castles.
You know, I didn't realize I have OSRS notifications on my phone for the app, and I got a message being like, your favorite minigame just got an update. And I'm like, Castle Wars is not my favorite minigame. How dare you?
What is your favorite minigame?
Oh boy. I don't
It's
know.
Castle Wars.
No, I really
We
like
all
Guardians
know
of the
it.
Rift. BA used to be my favorite.
Wow, you've abandoned BA.
I have.
Speaking
Oh,
of
there's a
things
lot more.
you might have abandoned, we have Castle Wars Brews. So you can raise your vials because Castle Wars Brews just got a double shot of power. Yeah.
I love how
these
you
are-
read their little jokes.
I know, it's so weird. These are just brews in Castle Wars. They have additional effects of a stamina potion and a super restore at the same time. That means
Cool.
that this gives you more sprint in whatever scenario, and also additional recovery. So when you're fighting, this is pretty much just going to be the thing you're drinking all the time while in Castle Wars.
It's going to be your sweet nectar.
Yeah, of the gods.
Next up, helmets on. So now you can wear helmets in Castle Wars, unlocking all those coveted armor set effects. So that's like Torva, Void, stuff like that. Crazy that was never able to be a
For
thing
anyone
before.
that didn't know, you could not wear helmets.
Yeah.
So for anything like obsidian or, well,
you
I
didn't
guess,
get any
I guess not.
barrows. Every barrow's
yeah,
out
I was
there.
going to say barrows. Yeah, I don't know why I said obsidian, but any set where you needed to wear the chest, pants, and helmet, you couldn't. You could, you just wouldn't get the effects.
I think I thought that you got the effects just without it. Because, like the Slayer helm works as it.
No,
if you wear that,
yeah, no.
you just weren't getting anything.
No, yeah, you were
That's
just
crazy.
you were just wearing it for the actual armor itself.
Oh,
There was
wow.
no set effects.
Okay, but yeah, you can now bring helmets.
Yeah, I don't know why they said Torva. Maybe because it's not a set, but Void is.
Or maybe they just
So
made
they
it
were
look
like
good.
comparing it.
Or maybe Torva does have an effect and we're too poor to know.
No, Torva doesn't. Void does though. So maybe they're just like, you know,
Yeah.
pitting them against each other. But yeah, either way, you can have helmets on. Also, bandages, they're actually really useful now. They can overheal you just like anglers.
Good.
So that'll be nice. You don't have to use them as much, and you can do it before battle.
Portal changes. So now Guthix is taking over. Castle Wars has always been a blast, but those one-sided games are not so much. They are copying Soul Wars a little bit and bringing back balance.
Yeah, this is because
I like this.
For anyone that didn't know, you actually got to pick which side you started on in
Saradomin or Zamorak.
Yeah, in Castle Wars. So if all your buddies were on one side, you could join them.
Could you also just do that to boost for points?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't see why not. But that's just exactly like they said. Just like in Soul Wars, now it's random.
Yeah, so you're going to only be able to enter through the Guthix portal in dedicated Castle War worlds. But if you want to play the old way, you can still do that on random worlds. But you have to have like 100 friends to join you.
There's a really big difference between the dedicated worlds and the non-dedicated worlds. So make sure to keep that in mind if you are actually going to play. I know that a lot of people are playing right now, but just keep that in mind.
This actually sounds kind of fun to just like randomly not know, because I like that about Soul Wars.
Yeah.
Even though the only time I've done it really is in leagues when they're like red always wins.
Yeah, there is a lot of incentives to playing on Castle Wars dedicated worlds, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're gonna get to a couple more soon as well.
Yeah. So this next one is going to be Castle Wars bracelets. For anyone that doesn't know, this is pretty much just a buff. You equip the bracelet, it uses a charge, which gives you a buff. It makes it so your heals heal for 50% more. The bandages.
I don't know if I ever got one of these.
And also you deal like 20% more damage. Like it's a really big buff. It only takes one charge at the beginning of the match, and then you just throw them away so that you can get like wear your gloves. Like people just throw them on the ground. But now you don't have to do that. You can just store your charges with the lady there, and she will just store them kind of like how you store anything else. You can even bring them noted, and it'll just use a charge at the beginning of every match, so you'll just always have that buff.
Damn.
And if you don't like this, you can also toggle it off.
I don't know if I ever utilized these bracelets. You just get them in the game?
Yeah, you just get them in the game.
Oh, I mean, maybe I did. I don't remember. I don't know. It's been a second.
Yeah, if you don't do Castle Wars, there's no reason you'd ever use them. So
true. There's also going to be a rune pouch update within Castle Wars. When you jump into the game, you'll be handed a temporary rune pouch loaded with all of the runes you need to cast your favorite spells. So you don't have to worry about packing the correct runes or wasting your gold. The only thing is, though, that these pouches will not earn you any cast XP for spell casting, but you will also get XP for dealing damage. To earn the full magic XP, you'll need to drop the pouch and bring your own runes. If you did drop your pouch or accidentally lost it in the heat of battle, you can go and grab another one from the table in your team's spawn area. If you want to bring your own pouch, obviously, just ditch it and don't grab a new one. If you've got both personal runes and the pouch, don't worry, it's going to take it from the pouch first before taking your precious, precious runes.
That's kind of weird.
It's interesting that they're giving you free runes.
No, it's just where you can have both.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it would just be like, you already have one of these, then you'd have to drop it. I feel like that would make more sense.
I think it's just people who forget that they have it in their inventory.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. They do break down, though, which spells can be used.
Yeah, you can't use all the spells, but you can use all the useful ones, essentially. And they have it set up for Standard, Ancient, Lunar, and Arceus. So for Standard, you can use Wind Strike, Bind Snare, Entangles, Saradomin Strike, Guthix, Claws of Guthix, Flames of Zamorak, and more. Pretty much all the good ones. If you do use one of the god spells, you do have to have the staff.
Yes. It's not that good.
Yeah, there's no workaround for that. Ancients, you can use Blood, Ice, Barrage, Smoke Burst, and other PvP related ones. Lunars, you can use Venge, Spellbook Swap, and Energy Transfer. In Arceus, you can use Ghostly, Grasp, Vile Vigor, and Ward of Arceus. Also,
no thralls.
No thralls, because those are stupid. Also to note, non-PvP utility spells like High Alch and Enchanting remain restricted, because they're not going to give you free runes for that. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
This is kind of nice, though. I hate having to remember what runes are for what.
Yeah.
So handy.
So if you don't care so much about the XP, then yeah, feel free to do that.
If you care about rewards, though, they actually are giving you some extra loot. It is better if you're in the Castle War worlds. So this is in the dedicated worlds. If it's a no points draw, then you get 2 tickets each. Draw with no points, 3 tickets each. And when I say each, I mean each team. Sorry, I should have been a little clear. If you win, but both teams scored points, you get 3 tickets for the winners, 2 for the losers. If you win with no flags lost, you get 4 tickets for the winners, 2 for the losers.
If this is a non-Castles world or a Castle Wars dedicated world, then
First of all, you don't even care about collection log slots.
all of those values are the exact same -1.
Yeah. They also did give a new UI. Is that the correct word for this?
This is a new UI for sure. It's a user interface.
For the rewards.
Yeah, it looks better. It's for the rewards, and this is something you use alongside the new currency.
And it's the same thing I said last week. It looks like how the forestry does. They're kind of changing all their reward pages to look like this.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much.
I think it's more easy to use.
It probably is easier to use, but I kind of like the old one more.
Yeah. But alongside your tickets, you can actually get an additional reward, and this is how you get the new rewards. These are called plaudits, which for anyone that you can go ahead and look it up, it's kind of like an applaud, but the currency version. So these you can trade in at Lanthus's store. It's been revamped. Like Michelle just said, you can get all of the additional rewards that you usually get, but you can also trade them in for supply crates.
Yeah.
These crates work exactly pretty much how they do in Soul Wars. You need 2 additional inventory spots before you open them, and they have blighted potions and food, a mixture of blood, death, soul, and nature runes, rune arrows, javelins, and money.
Love that.
A lot of people were really apprehensive and kind of pushing back before playing it too much, saying that, literally at RuneFest, not just a couple weeks ago, they were saying that they didn't like how many bloods specifically were entering the game. So people thought this was kind of like a step backwards. That being said, now that people have actually played it, from what I have seen and what I could tell, the games, they take 25 minutes.
You're not going to be getting a lot.
They take literally twice as long as a Soul Wars game.
True.
And also, it's just not as many.
Mm-hmm.
So
the picture is like 895. This is very clearly several crates worth.
This is a lot of crates worth. It's not nearly as much as Soul Wars, for instance. Not saying that this doesn't add to the problem, but it's not as much, and maybe it's not as big of a deal. So if you are worried about that, then I don't know. It just doesn't, especially once the hype dies down. I seriously doubt it'll be
that impactful.
Yeah, that impactful.
Next up, they're talking about barricades. So a new barricade cap on dedicated Castle Wars world restricts teams to 7 outside and 10 inside the base. Place barricades now have a colored rope to indicate what team they belong to. Barricades can now be placed in front of the respawn barriers. A new element has been added to the Castle Wars heads-up display, showing the number of barricades your team has placed both inside and outside your base.
And also, there's a few additional changes. So, small walls have been added to the stairs and ladder at the spawn point, allowing players to range over them and create more strategic barricade placements.
That's kind of cool.
And on non-Castle Wars worlds, players within Castle Wars will be able to shove the targets back to back using the D-Spear or the Zamorakian Hasta special attacks.
That's so humiliating to be pushed back by those, by the way.
Yeah.
You're like,
oh. Just to be sure, on dedicated worlds and also the wilderness, you will not be able to do this. It works the way it should. This is just for if you want to joke around on non-Castle Wars worlds.
Or really annoy someone on non-Castle War worlds.
Yeah, joke around with you and your friend, which are ruining the other person's day.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, there's now a table with buckets in the supply room for all your bucket needs. And lastly, they fixed a bug where players' overhead yellow arrow would not disappear after depositing the flag.
We're still just chasing you.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah, hopefully some of these changes make the fights more interesting.
Yeah, that was it for the Castle War updates. But moving on to the important stuff. Other changes.
The other change.
The first one, it even has its own section.
Other change.
The rune pouch changes. So the rune pouch UI has gotten a quality of life upgrade with the 1.5x in all options for drawing and depositing runes, making swapping them out easier than ever. Selecting all will set it as the default left click for both actions. So no more right clicking and hunting for that one pesky option. Plus your last selection is saved even after logging out. So you won't have to set it again every time you play. Just making it a little cleaner because it is kind of, it's a little rough and ready, as they'd say in Bake Off.
This is what I was joking about, is like...
this is how I said you guys are everyone's going to notice and be like, what? Because it looks different.
I was like, this is going to affect everyone because I often load up on my 1 in 5 runes.
I open up my inventory all the time.
Yeah,
My
no.
rune inventory.
I think it's funny. Someone did make a point where like this is practically a non like
It's
not
just a UI.
it is quality of life, but it's like practically a non-quality of life thing, considering we just got the update where every time you take your rune pouch out or swap the loadout, it automatically does it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's cool. I
It
guess.
does make it easier to select which kinds of runes, because right now it's actually pretty annoying.
No, yeah, for sure. It is nice, but it's just kind of funny because they added this after the thing that has loadouts that
Yeah.
automatically swap it for you. So kind of funny. But we have the biggest changes of all, which are the other changes.
The
as
real
usual.
other changes.
So they
Back
fixed
and forth?
Yeah,
Okay.
they fixed the bug causing the Moons of Peril to stop functioning if you killed it with burn damage.
I wonder how they stopped functioning, if they were just like sitting there like,
I do not know.
I'm sure it was good.
Yeah, and this was clarified because originally it said if you killed them with like sunfire damage or something, but Mod Rage went in here and changed it.
Oh, okay. Fixed a bug where the auto weed setting was incorrectly appearing off when it was on, and vice versa.
And you can no longer skip one of these shortcut obstacles in the Fremi Slayer caves by interacting with a different obstacle.
You little cheats, you. An optional warning has now been added when using items on Explorer's Ring to alch them. The warning can be disabled via the game's main setting menu.
Also, this is a little more of a divisive change, actually. So they adjusted the Chaos Fanatics AoE attack, so it only affects the last player who engaged in combat. And a lot of people were saying that they see this as a PKer advantage change.
I didn't think about it like that till you just said it, but yeah, because before, I mean, at least the Chaos Fanatic could mess with PKers while you're trying to run. Now
Yeah.
it's only
Exactly. Some people were like, you know, if I'm getting
That's
attacked
funny.
by PKer, I'd rather at least them have a chance of dying.
Yeah,
Because as it is now, this is an AoE attack for you,
that's so funny.
not an AoE attack for everyone anymore. So it's kind of weird, stretching the AoE definition there
Yeah,
for
what?
sure. But shout out to Mod Rach. She honestly has been pretty good about answering questions, and she's
Mhm.
putting in work over on the subreddit. And she did actually answer the question that someone brought this up, why this was done. And it's because they didn't like the idea of people being able to abuse whoever is fighting the Chaos Fanatic by running under them and getting attacked by an AoE that then hits the original attacker.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they saw enough people doing this, you know, abusing whoever was the original attacker by running under them and getting them hit with extra damage.
I
So
feel like
that
it's gonna
they
be one of
did
those
this.
things that's kind of messed with either way.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's
There's
gonna
no
suck.
winning here.
I think it's gonna suck either way. But
Yeah.
that's the change.
They removed unintended range blocking from the Chaos Rift and a fallen tree in the wilderness to improve consistency, as they visually look like you should be able to fire projectiles over them, but previously could not.
And
This was the biggest, because we talked about this last week.
okay, lastly, so they selecting the experienced option in the dialogue
On like
should-
Tutorial Island.
on Tutorial Island, like we just mentioned last week, should set casting alchemy spells on untradeable items, always triggering a warning to enable or to enabled. So now it'll
be on.
it'll trigger a warning by default.
Because I was saying last week, I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, I would want that on.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't want to accidentally high elk.
the chance of me
untradeable.
wanting to high alch my fire cape is like almost zero.
Yeah.
And also they made it so the minimum item value needed for alchemy spells warning is set to 150k.
I think they didn't. There wasn't one. And I'm like,
No, there wasn't one.
we've all almost accidentally
And I'm all like
high elk something expensive. And
like
it's scary.
you can't go back from high alching your BGS or something as an
or
Iron
you're
Man.
like Tebow.
Well, I mean, as an Iron Man, I'm like, all right, cool. I gotta just go do this grind again. This sounds great. Let me go kill this boss 500 more times, hopefully, to get this.
You know, last week I was like doing, I don't remember what I was doing, but I was like high elking stuff, and I was doing the thing where you can click it and use it on the Explorer's Ring. And I accidentally used my Explorer's Ring on like my Avernic or something, but I did it backwards so it didn't count. And I was like, oh my God, like people probably do stuff like that all the time. I have a
Yeah.
warning on, but if you didn't have the warning on, like you're screwed.
Yeah, if you select experience, there was no warning.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, and I
I
mean,
feel like the most experienced people know, yeah, have a warning.
yeah, because I mean, we called that out and we're like, that is not what
That's
an experienced
wild.
player would do.
I think they realize that sometimes you misclick.
When you're tired AFK slaying, chances are you're not gonna have consistent clicks.
Exactly.
So it's that's the end of it.
Yep, that's it for the update so far.
Yeah. And we're back. It is the next day, and we
Got another blog.
yeah, we actually got another blog.
And just like clockwork, as soon as we start, Goose is like, "Oh, we're back," and jumps onto our laps.
Yeah, little cat. But anyways, we do have some stuff to talk about. Also, I did want to correct myself a little bit. I thought originally the consensus was that you weren't going to be able to make a lot of money from the new Castle Wars stuff, and that is still kind of true. Except for the fact that you can kind of low key just AFK participate and still make, a couple $100,000 for being AFK. So
Well, that's cool. Not a lot of money, but AFK money.
yeah, it's definitely not a lot of money, but I've seen, posts where people are like really mad already. They're like, bots are just AFKing over and over again.
Let me just tell you, some of them aren't bots. Some of those people at home.
A lot of them are literally just sitting in the base doing nothing though.
Yeah.
So
That's always kind of been a thing. I guess more so.
those people, if you are one of those people, previously this wasn't really possible, but now with the crates you can make around, I don't know, I think it is around like 500 to 600K an hour of just AFKing.
I think people would do that previously just for points.
Yeah, I don't know what
whatever.
the previous meta was, but that if anyone, I think I said originally that you can't really abuse it, but yeah, you totally can.
Yeah, you can use everything in this game.
I think I kind
They're
of
gonna start having some like required to move 30 steps or something.
yeah, I think originally I was worried about it being
Too much blood runes?
no, just too much stuff from like doing the activity in general, but actually the real worry is just everyone going and abusing being AFK.
Yeah.
So it was a different thing. I was just worried about the wrong thing, I guess. But either way,
People will surprise you with what they will get up to in game for sure.
yeah. So that is just a little bit of an update, and we also, like Michelle said, do have another blog, and this one's about sailing.
Actually, before that, I thought it was so funny because yesterday when we were recording, he was like, yeah, PoE, we thought we were going to have an update, but they're definitely not going to update at midnight New Zealand time. They did.
Yeah, they practically did. Yeah, so they had a very large patch notes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like fully the update, but I just thought it was funny because right after saying that, he was talking to his friend on Discord and he was like, wait.
Yeah, it's funny because it's actually, the patch notes are so expansive that for what I would consider like a majority of the changes just weren't listed because there was too many.
Wowzers.
And it was still very, very long. So we actually won't get to see what the actual changes are until the update goes live and people are able to download and data mine the actual stuff.
You're going to have fun doing that this weekend? This weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're also going to go see a cow this weekend. You keep forgetting.
Yes. I need to write that in my planner. But anyway, we'll start out with the sailing vlog.
Yes, we will start out with the sailing blog. So this is a blog, like I said, it's about sailing, and this is about the alpha feedback stuff. So this is a little bit of behind the scenes is what they're calling it.
I liked how you initially said that with the sailing blog. So this is a blog. It's about sailing.
Yeah.
You guys would never guess.
Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed. Maybe you thought it was about ducks because that's what's in
They mentioned ducks.
I mean, that's what's in the little
Picture.
thumbnail.
Yeah, there's ducks. Don't worry.
Yeah, so plenty of ducks. So they do start off by saying that there was a ton of people that took part, over 65,000 people.
918 as well. Almost 66,000 people did this.
Yeah.
So they go on about, wow, thanks guys for doing the survey. Honestly, forgot the survey was even a thing.
I didn't do it.
And I wanted to read all this because I thought it was interesting. So back in 2023, we offered to lock in sailing as a new skill, provided we ran public playtests and continued consulting players on its design. A colossal majority, 71.9% of the community voted yes to accept it, with an incredible 161,000 people turnout. We'd be doing a disservice to players if we do not continue development on sailing. Since that vote, we've worked in good faith to develop sailing in line with our agreement. The Sailing Alpha is a testament to our commitment to the player base, demonstrating that we are actively engaging players and shaping the skill. Moving forward, we're collaborating with the community on the design of sailing, but this does not include revisiting the lock-in poll. I'm sure everyone has seen memes about people being like, sunken cost fallacy, like just get rid of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying, that social media is just like an echo chamber. Like I should be seeing stuff like that all the time. I actually follow a bunch of sailing haters. I thought that was really fun. They're like, we're getting sailing. I literally don't care. It's locked in.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I, as well as if I had to guess any person that you would talk to, I mean, I don't know. I don't talk to other RuneScape players, but I just imagine when they said that they would go back and like re-poll it if people wanted to, I didn't think they would ever actually do that. So
Yeah.
I don't think anyone actually took that seriously.
I don't remember what we originally thought, but right now, you know, in my old eyes, yeah, no, that doesn't really make sense.
No, I just don't ever see it happening. And also it's cool because they don't, you know, they conveniently, you know, breezed right past the fact that
Shamanism was so close.
sailing actually only got picked by 3%. Definitely not 70%.
We have a lot of thoughts on that.
So kind of crazy.
So it had 70. Oh no, it had 71 once it was chosen. People were like, "Do you want?" Yeah, okay.
It had 71 after.
It barely beat
they're
Shamanism.
like, which one do you want? And then they allowed you to pick all of them.
Why would they let you pick multiple? That made it so confusing.
And then Shamanism lost by, I think it was like 3.1%.
It's been 2 years and we still are talking about this.
Yeah, because it's really annoying.
It was so close. They should have pulled them both together because who knows where all those votes for the breeding, whatever the animal thing was.
Taming. Breeding.
Who knows where that would have gone. But anyway.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of annoying because, I mean, a lot of this survey data, and especially this first paragraph, I mean, I'm a pessimist when it comes to
I'm being optimistic.
Things like this, but like I'm an optimist for sailing, but whenever just reading this, I'm reading it in an extremely pessimistic voice.
You do, yeah. You read it like they're being passive aggressive.
Because this is the same person that, like, whoever you know, maybe it's a family member or someone at work or something, they're all like, oh yeah, then this happened, and then they tell you in all these details, and you're like, you're telling me in so much detail, I kind of don't believe you, or you're trying to like make me believe something in a weird way.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but also I could sympathize with whoever writes them in a way, because if they leave stuff up for interpretation, people get mad that they're hiding things. If they're too clear, people are like, why are you being too clear? Are you hiding things?
Yeah.
There's kind of no winning.
This whole paragraph was just weird. Why would you include this?
Oh no, because a lot of people online are telling them like, just get rid of it.
Well, because okay.
People are saying just get rid of it, redo the poll to lock it in, and it would lose. Which, to be fair, I don't think it would lose. I'm pretty sure it would still pass.
I don't know, honestly, if it would lose or win. For anyone that doesn't know, like, there was a lot of people that just didn't vote.
Yeah,
or skipped it.
We're actually gonna say it right now. So they did a survey, and it was like a survey after the alpha. 4,200 people responded to it, 3,300 completed. They asked people how they voted in the sailing lock-in poll. So 57% of the people that did the alpha survey voted that they voted yes to sailing. 13.9% said they voted no to sailing. 18% did not even vote on sailing.
Yeah.
That's like a huge number. I'm surprised all those people even took the survey.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, these numbers are like really, man, I'm going to sound like I hate this, but it's because
I think it's interesting.
It's because I hate the way they framed it. It's really just like them kind of shouting themselves out over and over again, literally for like 8 paragraphs straight, with like 7 different diagrams on like how well they've done and how much everyone totally wanted this to happen. And I'm like, that's a crazy like gaslight.
I don't think it's crazy, because there's a lot, they're rebutting people's points. You don't see them because you're not on social media for RuneScape that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're rebutting everyone's points.
But the thing is,
being like, only people who voted yes are going to do the alpha and stuff like that.
No, that's such a foolish take.
No, I've seen that. Like, people say that.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's like such a foolish, like, this very first thing, this very first paragraph was completely unnecessary.
That one is pretty funny.
Like, yeah, 71% of you voted yes versus no / I am skipping this / I don't have an opinion. Like, yeah. Okay. That's cool. And then they followed up by ending with, oh, and we're not redoing the poll. Then just skip this entire paragraph. Like, what do you on about?
I think that was very funny. I didn't mind that because it made me laugh out loud. I was like, oh, nice.
And then there's literally every single diagram that we're about to go over is literally just them reinforcing that they think they did the right thing. And
I know you're annoyed.
Bro, it's like literally just like cherry picking every single thing that they wanted to, which is, I don't care. Like, it's fine as I don't care. It's just like, you don't need to like do this. Like, it actually doesn't matter.
They're just debunking common arguments against
They're
it.
not, though. That's what I'm saying. They think they are,
Yeah.
but they're not. The only people
But that's the
taking
point
this
of it, because
survey,
you're saying they're cherry picking, and they're not cherry picking. They're doing based on people's criticisms. So I think that they're doing something that TV shows do sometimes too, where they listen to the fans too much.
Yeah.
And start responding via characters in it. So it's a little weird, but I don't think it's like, it's just more like embarrassing. Like, why you guys shouldn't even bother. It's not a big deal.
I guess my point, for instance, is
we both keep grabbing my mouse and scrolling up and down.
I mean, for the very first one that you just said, like 57% said yes. Like, is this supposed to be a big gotcha? Only 4,000 people took the poll.
Yeah.
Almost 400,000, 100x this actually voted on the skill.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, people are like, oh, you're only doing the alpha if you voted yes. So they're saying, no, 30% of people, at least 30% of people who took the survey were invested enough in alpha to take the survey. We're not voting yes. I get it. I think it is a gotcha moment, like in a fair way, though.
It's literally not. You can't have a 1/100th of the sample size actually take a survey months later and pretend like, oh, yeah, see? Everyone still really wanted this.
I wish that they could have, like, because they said, what, like 60,000 people did the alpha or something. I wish that they could go and like compare that to everyone's accounts and what they voted.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
And then if we move on, they do have this is another thing. It's like, this isn't a gotcha, dude. This
you already know what I'm going to say.
Everyone,
I don't need to argue with you.
I'm guessing that the argument, and feel free to correct me, is that everyone's like, oh, only like 100 to 200 skill total players are actually participating in this.
Yes. So they share what total levels people are.
If you think anyone not highly invested in this game are the only ones doing beta tests, you're insane.
Yeah, I don't see why anyone who's level 200 would do a beta.
Yeah, why would anyone that actually just has never really played this game care about the newest cutting edge stuff?
I was telling Robert, like, if I'd never started the podcast and streaming YouTube and all that, I would be like, I probably wouldn't even know what raids were. And I'd still play all the time. I would just be like oblivious.
It's funny because this is actually kind of like a reverse gotcha. If like you look at the community, a lot of people meme on people. In the vast majority of people that took this survey, the majority were in the 1,800 to 2,100 total account level. And it is like a known meme that everyone's like, oh, you're hard stuck in like this 2,000 total, because obviously only super endgame players are maxed or near maxed. And everyone stops around 2,000 because that's when it gets hard. And that's literally the majority here by like a lot. And then pretty much no one else is below 1,800.
I mean, it was almost 30% was 2,100 to max, which I expect people who are max to be invested in the alpha because they'd probably want to keep their capes.
Yeah.
So I expected that to be the top one, but it's really close to the top.
But yeah, I guess I just thought it was funny because a lot of people, will discredit those players, whether they're right or not. I just think it's funny because they are stuck there and don't actually want to finish playing the game.
Oh, wait, they did actually mention here participation from, I don't know why they didn't mention this under the other graph. Participation from no voters was low in the alpha. They only made up 5.8% of people engaging with the playtest overall. So not a lot.
Which is only 10% of the people that's what I'm saying. You're throwing around, not you, obviously, the people that made this.
Personally invested in this.
They're throwing around this percentage, 5.8%. Only 1/10, less than 1/10 of the players that actually participated even did this survey. Your 5.8% means less than nothing.
Yeah, it is small.
It is like a couple thousand players. There is literally 50x that playing right now.
I will say kudos to everyone who voted no and still tried it out and isn't just like gonna be a hater without even trying it. That's nice. I think that's a good idea.
Obviously I kind of expected everyone that tried it to be a yes man, and I was kind of surprised at how many people still voted that they were like unhappy or very unhappy with their experience.
Okay, so now you've tried the alpha. How do you feel about sailing being added to OSRS after development's finished? Very happy and happy make up about 60%. Okay, very happy, and neutral make up 70%. And then my math's not adding up. I can't read this. Unhappy and very unhappy is 16%. 16% of the people who took the survey are unhappy.
Yeah.
I should have just done the small numbers.
Yeah, you
What is
should
my
have.
math?
A little over 80% are the people that are either neutral or happy with it.
I
And
said
then
60, and then I was like, wait, what?
roughly 16% of the players are either unhappy or very unhappy.
Yes, with that specific question. They ask a lot. So, did the sailing content alpha have at least one training method that matched with your preferred style of play? What number is that? 82% of people said yes. 17% said no.
Yeah, really
Interesting.
really going for the bottom of the barrel there. At least one training method you don't absolutely hate.
Okay.
Crazy.
How easy was it for you to control your boat? Very
That was
difficult.
super easy.
Very difficult, and difficult was only 6%.
It's actually
I kept forgetting to click the rudder, so I was actually having a
straight
hard
up, it is
time.
heinous that even 6% of people said not easy or
I would vote neutral because I kept forgetting to click the rudder.
Bro, it was easy. If you can control your character normally, then you should be able to do
kept
this.
clicking the water and like, why am I not moving? And realizing I
Weird.
never clicked the rudder. How did you find this sailing side panel? Very complicated and complicated, made up 10%, and then not complicated, made up the rest. How easily did you understand the upgrade options? Very difficult and difficult, made up less than 5%.
Yeah.
Wow, 0.76, very difficult.
Yeah, 0.76. 23 people said it was very difficult.
Oh, wow, okay. The results give us confidence. Oh, should I just even read that? Let's just keep going. I wanted to read the next graph.
We'll just read
They're
the
just
graphs.
hyping themselves up there.
Yeah.
How enjoyable was Temper Tantrum? That was the
Barracuda trial.
Okay. Extremely unfun, and unfun was 9%.
Only 1,500 people voted on this because you had to be level 30 to even do it.
I didn't get that far, yeah. I do think it's funny because I didn't do it. I don't even know if I watched it, but I just feel like it's very funny that someone does this mini game and is like, that was extremely unfun.
Yeah.
That's just goofy to imagine. How did you feel about port task? Dislike and strongly dislike, made up
15%.
Thank you. How do you feel about sea charting? Strongly dislike and dislike makes up 15%. A lot of people didn't try it. How do you feel about shipwreck salvaging? Strongly dislike and dislike is 6%.
And 16% didn't even try it.
Yeah, I didn't try that either.
Anyway.
Should we read those numbers?
No, this is just a summarization, essentially.
Well, I was just going to read that. I like when they list and they don't only have charts. It makes it so much easier for me.
Yeah, no, this is a separate
It's basically
thing.
what I just read.
No, because this is, they have a separate diagram asking people where they discuss RuneScape online, whether that be in-game on Discord, Reddit, Twitter, wherever you discuss
I didn't even see this.
OSRS. And, the vast majority was either Discord or in-game, obviously, with only 19% being from Reddit, and then, practically less than 10% total between all of the other social medias combined.
I thought this was hilarious, especially the never on a lot of them, because the way people be acting on Reddit is like they're everyone in RuneScape.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny to be like, okay, a lot of these people don't even use Reddit. So I don't know. I mean, it's just like I said earlier, like I just see like tweets from people that I follow. So I don't know how much people like really believe what they're saying because I just follow like 100 people. It's not that much of a crowd.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked about this earlier, though. It's like the people discussing things online, especially on Reddit about a game, are people already highly invested in the game.
Exactly. Casual players don't do that.
Yeah, you're not going to find the dad with 5 wives and 15 jobs on there because he's too busy. He's thinking about other stuff.
I thought it was so funny that they included a paragraph saying, another interesting data point from the survey is the majority of Sailing Alpha participants said they do not actively engage with social media for discussions about OSRS. This is an important consideration as it highlights that feedback seen on some platforms does not fully represent the overall community's experience with sailing. So I think we also
foolish.
I mean, we saw that like thumbnail. I think it's for Behe. That was just like everyone hates sailing was the thumbnail.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean that's just clickbait to be fair for a video.
Yeah,
but like this is so obvious, but you don't believe everything you see online.
Yeah, and I mean this is cool.
I thought it was funny.
It's like sounded like I hate them for putting this out, and it's just annoying because. Yeah. Like, to put it into perspective, it'd be the same as like if we got, I don't know, a ton of messages every day, and then we like chose 10 of them and we're like, look how sick we are. I chose the 10 sickest messages.
That's
and
kind of
I'm
me.
just gonna, talk about how cool I am based on these messages. It's like,
isn't that me deleting comments?
I'm like, bro, you can't pick out this survey that has practically no one voting on it and compare it to the other survey, which is, several magnitudes larger previously and included other factors like 2 other skills that weren't even talked about here. So it's like, I don't even know what you're trying to prove with this besides like trying to cater to the smooth brains that think that everything they see on Reddit is real.
Yeah, I really liked that point just strictly because I think a lot of people just think that whatever they type on social media is the majority, myself included, to be honest. And it's just like a good reminder that most people you see running around in the game, those are just like random dudes just vibing. They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
they're just hanging out.
I would have liked this much more if it wasn't so drawn out.
A little passive aggressive.
Yeah.
How long they talked about it.
if it was literally just like, 4 paragraphs, like one was talking about, maybe all the stuff they've added, accomplishments, they show that they've like been working hard or whatever. And then another one where they're all like, some actual hard hitting, I'm sure that you could find some hard hitting, like actual data points, but between all of the surveys that were like, oh, this many people are really excited about it and really had a good time. Then I'd be like, cool, good for them. I don't think you make anyone feel better by dismissing other people's points they bring up. They're not bringing up those points for drama points. Chances are they're not karma farming. They actually feel like they've been cheated in some way. So don't dismiss them. It doesn't make them feel better.
So I think
it's like
my petty side is what enjoys this because like it's drama.
Yeah, like they could
like
have
it feels like gossip.
Condensed it a couple of hard hitting paragraphs that would have been totally fine, but just patting your back for 15 paragraphs straight is like really ridiculous.
Well, moving on, they do have some feedback points that they want to discuss more. First being boats getting stuck. I got stuck. Did you get stuck?
Nope.
What? Okay, whatever.
I didn't really go. I mean, I started the quest. I didn't go anywhere.
All I did was go to Port Sarum and I got stuck and had to abandon my ship.
No, I didn't do that.
Anyway, it appears that there are specific locations where boats can just get stuck. We implemented escape options on boats, but it's not a permanent fix for the underlying problem. And it's annoying because it tellies you back. You have to do it again.
Do you want to bet on if they have a non-escape function before the skill comes out?
They move you 2 feet away.
I feel like the escape option will maybe be more refined, but will still be there.
I think that the escape will always be there. But then people will use it to just tell you back.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the home telly.
I don't think they'll have a more elegant solution besides escape when the skill comes out.
Yeah, I could see that. The issue appears to be related to mapping rather than navigational mechanics. So they're compiling a list of problematic locations flagged during the playtest to resolve them. And long term, they're going to explore an engine side fix, possibly a tool that detects and corrects these spots automatically. Possibly.
I feel like they should just do how they do for like for Slayer, for instance. A lot of people found, through testing that, certain Slayer mobs, like superiors primarily, can't spawn in certain areas. So like if you're killing a mob next to a wall, it'll never spawn a superior, for instance. Like they did a big thing with worms. I didn't know
that for a long time. I remember being told that. What?
Yeah, it was a big deal whenever it came out with worms and stuff like that. So like a lot of people don't even know that worms have superiors because they just are killing them in the wrong spots. So I think they could just do that and like kind of block off certain areas, essentially like invisible wall type stuff.
Yeah.
But of all the things we're about to see, this was the most surprising for me that they didn't run into this issue. Like no one throughout the entire development were like, oh,
why would you getting stuck?
You can easily get stuck in practically any small space.
I wonder if there's a way to make it so like obviously now you'll see tiles, but you can't walk to them, you can see them. I wonder if they could do something like that.
Exactly.
Just be like, don't let us sail there in the first place.
Just be like, those are fake tiles.
Yeah. But I guess how do you even track that?
I mean, like everyone else, you put a tile marker on it when you figure it out.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, you want to read the next part?
Yeah, sure. This is XP rates. I don't know why anyone was taking this seriously. People thought the XP rates were too low. Obviously, these are going to get changed.
This is made up.
Yeah, this is literally all made up. They even said it.
I mean, we were talking a lot about XP earlier, but we all have no idea how it's going to be.
Yeah, Husky even confirmed during the alpha that none of those rates actually matter. That none of them make sense. So yeah, they are going to change them, but they do specifically address people saying that it was too slow and that they'll try and up it or something, make it feel better.
They say sailing early progression may have felt slower simply because it's a brand new skill and the alpha was limited to starter zones, but you'll have meaningful progression throughout the levels 199, ensuring higher levels feel engaging rather than a grind. Engaging doesn't mean good XP though. That just means you're doing stuff.
I also think this was kind of just like
Weird way of wording it.
people maybe doing the slowest methods possible.
Man, whatever
or
I was doing
something.
was so slow.
The fact that you can get to 30 in this skill and do Barracuda trials is kind of insane. Like getting to 30 in any skill usually takes quite a while.
Well, I mean, it was the fake XP rates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. People
Yeah.
people still thought it was slow. And you can get to 30 in as little as
In like
an hour.
yeah.
That's like fletching.
That's funny. Next is port task quality of life. We saw several requests for improvements to port task, the most notable being the ability to carry more cargo per trip. We plan to address this by allowing crewmates to assist with loading and unloading cargo. As you progress in sailing, you'll gain access to more convenient upgrades that reduce the back and forth. Some of you even suggested that strength could influence how much cargo you can carry. While that's not something we've got firm plans on for now, it did spark our interest, and their art team actually made a design of a character holding like 12 different cargo boxes all stacked together. Another common frustration was the loading screens when interacting with your boat. It was kind of like a POH. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm so used to stuff like that I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
We're exploring a solution that would allow boats to persist in the game even when you're not actively sailing, so your boat would remain docked and visible, removing the need for some loading screens. Oh yeah, you do have to click like the gangplank thing to be like, go onto boat, and there's nothing there.
I don't really think that's a problem for probably most people, except for like,
If you have a really cool and you want to show off.
I was just thinking like really low end hardware players or mobile players might have an issue with that. It was so quick, I honestly barely even noticed it existed.
Yeah. They also do add though that there's a lot of smaller quality of life suggestions for the port task board that they're considering as well, but they don't get into it.
Yeah. This next one is actually something that we brought up previously, and this is sailing water visuals. So compared to land, there are landmarks and scenery, and the open sea can feel a bit empty. It's just literally blue. There's no waves or currents or anything. So
Sort of a creepy fog roll in.
they're experimenting with currents during the Barracuda trials, but they didn't feel or look very good. However, we're exploring adding Barracuda trial mechanics like rapids, which could provide a speed boost and potentially be tied to sea charting. So there could be a bunch of different permanent rapid path upgrades or rewards. That does sound kind of cool. And they're also investigating how can they implement smaller visual effects on water so it's not just a sheet of blue. For example, bubbles for like fishing spots, and also
No, bubbles they're afraid would look like fishing spots. They don't want it to.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. But they also are worried about like technical considerations. They can't just make it look like, actual flowing water, because it would probably just annihilate everyone's like computers, especially the lower end ones and mobile. So any water animations with height variations would require engine changes. So it really has to be like super minimal or, very uniquely tackled as far as the situation goes. And finally, they do have a showcase, or as showcased at RuneFest, they're also going to be releasing an HD graphics version within our client later this year. And the HD mode will include updated HD water visuals. So it kind of seems like they're relying on that.
Do you see we got a soft launch for the HD release?
Yeah, it says in the summer.
Hopefully.
The summers are very long.
It's a long, and we live in Southern California. Summer goes until December.
And our summer does go pretty much all year.
It's the worst.
Yeah, so
they have until the end of the year.
I have a feeling this will come, I don't know.
I think fall.
Yeah, I was thinking the fall.
Yeah. So that's like February for us?
Yeah, exactly. No, probably more realistically, October.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Their HD does look pretty, but I use so much plugins in RuneLight that I don't see myself switching. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that does mean losing all of your other plugins from RuneLight. So until
they all get added.
Yeah.
They also say that you skipped that part in accident. Beyond visuals, adding more content to the ocean like sea monsters, NPC ships, and dynamic events will naturally make it look busier. Right now, there's nothing because there was an alpha.
I guess, my main problem is it's literally just like
blue.
You're just like,
and then darker blue.
You're like, all right, this is the ocean because it is blue.
Yes.
There's no waves, it's just blue.
I guess that's like how it is on land.
There's no wind. It's just blue.
It's blue.
Yeah.
We understand that many of you were eager to try the sailing alpha on a mobile, and we appreciate your patience. While it's technically functional on mobile, we wanted to ensure a smoother experience before making it available for testing. The good news is that we plan to include mobile support in future sailing beta, provided it's in a state where we're confident players won't encounter significant issues. My hot take, they said provided it's in a state. Wait until it is, so that they could actually try it on mobile.
Nope. Unfortunate.
Like, is that crazy?
Unfortunate.
Because you can't release this skill and it's not going to work on mobile.
It's two separate teams. Too bad.
Have a meeting.
Two separate teams.
Meet up.
Nope.
Link up.
Something that they're tackling, which is really nice to hear about, is sea charting.
I bet you were excited about this one.
I was really excited about this because sea charting is something I was probably least excited about, mostly because it's a one and done. You get the XP and that's it.
Yeah.
It'd be the same as doing like
diaries with no rewards.
Exactly. It's just diaries with lamps, and they're like, all right, cool. I guess that was a nice bit of XP. And exactly the same thought process. They are planning on adding something to make it more impactful.
Cool.
So they're going to be tutorializing sea charting through mini quests and streamlining the tools required for it. And for example, the anti-rust tonic may not be necessary as the gameplay loop remains the same without it. Also, whenever you do fully chart areas, potentially there's going to be permanent unlocks like rapid systems they mentioned earlier.
That's fun. It's like an agility shortcut.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
Almost 100% this will not be out for launch, but this is something that they are working on.
I, again, don't mind waiting until we have a lot of stuff ready.
Oh, really? You're like the person from earlier.
Yeah. Map labels. Some players pointed out inaccuracies in the terminology used for ocean map labels. They'll be making adjustments based on feedback. I noticed nothing. I'm not observant.
Yeah, don't mess up your maritime
maritime
acronyms and stuff like that, because people get on that.
All the nautical freaks.
Yeah, exactly.
In Reddit.
Just like don't get your train terminology wrong. People will come out.
People are into stuff.
People do stuff.
We have hobbies other than RuneScape.
Yeah, and lastly,
like boats and trains.
We got boats, like you said. So boats, they're a bit too slow. People thought they were too slow. I don't know why they thought they're too slow. This is literally the second boat you get.
I mean, also just think about how slow running in this game is. Oh my god.
Yeah. So this is obviously going to get faster as you get better hulls and better movement speed upgrades for your ships and just better ships in general. So it will get faster. Chances are the skill is going to be slow anyways, so I guess kind of get used to it, but it will get faster than what it was. Something
that's so funny is the second paragraph. Some players commented that the current duck felt slow in comparison to boat speeds. We'll bear this in mind as faster vessels are developed, though we do expect that an experienced sailor in a quality boat should be able to outperform a duck. So I think the boats are too slow and the ducks are also too slow. So the ducks need to be faster.
The ducks are even slower.
I want the ducks to like outrun you.
I do think it's weird. Why doesn't the duck keep up with you? Also, why is the duck necessary?
Because he's cute.
It's not,
I didn't even get him. I don't want to complain about the duck because I'm just happy we're gonna have a little duck.
It's just weird because it's not like, your pig is going to go forage for you. The duck doesn't do that.
I think he does do something.
No, I'm saying he does that, but like in real life, the ducks don't do that. They don't actually even swim, really.
Have you ever considered it's fun and it adds razzle dazzle?
They couldn't even do like a seagull or something?
No, I want a duck.
Like ducks don't go in the ocean.
I bet seagull will be the pet.
I think ducks do fly over the ocean, by the way. I just don't think they go in the ocean.
Anyway, looking ahead at what's next. There's obviously a lot of new and exciting islands and points of interest out at sea. There's a sense of excitement from the discovery and exploration of sailing. Our focus now is shifting towards nailing the content that comes alongside it. Nailing down the content is, I feel like they should have said that. Right?
I mean, I guess so, but
I don't know, that sounds funny.
You are a sicko, so that makes sense.
Anyway, the content that comes alongside it to ensure that players feel like there are real reasons to train the skill. You have lots of influence over that process, and it will start very soon. TM. Over the next few months, you can look forward to multiple design blogs and polls, all of which is going to be about sailing. We're going to get polls for new quests, hybrid training methods, rewards, resources, bosses, etc. All of these are going to tie into existing skills and have effects on the main game.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I have a strong feeling at some point I will get sick of this, and it'll be just like whenever Dead Man comes around and there's like 7 back-to-back Dead Man reminders in every single week's blog.
It's because we do a podcast.
Well, I mean,
so it gets
it's
tiresome
crazy
because you guys don't have to see it as much, but every week we're like, another sailing blog.
They're like, all right, Dead Man's coming out. They're like, well, it actually changed, so here's the Dead Man stuff changed. And they're like, actually, here's the rewards for Dead Man. These are the changed rewards for. I'm like,
don't you guys love our Dead Man episodes? Every single week for 6 weeks, we're like, here's some more.
Even one update for Dead Man is like too much because it's like the entire season dropped at once.
But then whenever there's a Million Leagues one, we're like, yeah, let's go.
Even the Leagues ones I get tired of because it's like the rewards, then the actual
changes.
Yeah,
rewards
leagues,
again.
leagues, rewards. And it's like we're teasing leagues. I'm like, brother, you can talk about something else. I promise it'll be okay.
They don't post the blogs, keeping in mind that me and Robert might get frustrated on our RuneScape podcast.
Well,
which is very selfish of them.
I'm just saying that I'm sure they have reader retention problems because of that.
Alongside that, all your feedback will be taken into account as we prepare for a future sailing beta. Bum, bum, bum.
And the sailing pet, dude.
Yeah, they say we haven't forgot about things like the player design icon and skill cape and the sailing pet.
What do you think it's going to be?
I think maybe a seagull.
I think it's going to be a turtle.
I hope it's a turtle. I really hope it's a turtle. But I could see there being something on Tortugan Island, like are we going to kill one of their brethren?
What? No, I was thinking like a tortoise.
Yeah, but because now I'm thinking, I thought we'd get a turtle somewhere else, like from a boss.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, where would we get the Tortugan Island? That's the people that live there. Would we just kill one of them?
No, dude, there's other turtles. Like there's different breeds. Like one duck's not the same as all the ducks. There's different kinds of ducks.
I think seagull might be the pet and then turtle from somewhere else. But we do have the heron. I don't know if seagull will look a lot like that.
I think it would be, they will never do this, right? But it would be hilarious. It would be amazing if they're all like, you know, the Tortugans are like, oh yeah, no one wants to take in this turtle because he's like kind of weird. And they give you like this weird looking turtle and he has like a headband on and it's purple, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh, that's cute.
And you can like change it.
I was thinking like, isn't there a little turtle in Finding Nemo that has like a fin that's small or something?
Yeah, those are tortoises, or those are sea turtles, I think. Yeah, sea turtles.
Or another one that'd be funny is like a tiny little goldfish. Just like a little orange dot following you around.
Yeah, I'm less interested in animals that have to be water bound because I do think Leviathan looks stupid.
I think it'd be so funny.
Like he's just permanently in the water.
The goldfish dragging behind you everywhere you go.
I'm like, we're in the inferno, right? Like, where is this water coming from?
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, so I think it would be cool to have a little tortoise, but let us know.
I could see it being turtle.
Yeah, let us know what you want the sailing skilling pet to be.
Yeah, early on we mentioned having a player design island competition. We're playing for that to be a post-launch update rather than something included in sailing first launches. Other skills in OSRS have had years, even decades of expansion, while sailing is starting from nothing. And the core boat movement has been a massive undertaking itself. So it's inevitable that sailing will go on a similar journey, with more features and expansions to be expected after its initial launch. In particular, we'll be they said this again, I think they forgot. In addition, we'll be adding the promised player design island project as a post-release expansion for sailing, once the core of the skill has had a chance to settle.
Yeah,
do you think they forgot they already said it?
Just so you really know.
And then they say, thanks for reading this, and we just want to let you guys know. The sailing player design island. I think that they must have forgotten.
That'd be so funny. They just did a whole paragraph of that.
Yeah, just the same thing over and over in different ways.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's the sailing vlog.
Yeah, that's it.
I
think the sailing looked cool.
I do. I mean, this makes me kind of excited, but at the same time, they're like, other skills have had years and decades, so we'll add stuff over years and decades here too. And I'm like, no. You add everything you promised first, and then in years and decades, you think of new things.
It's also funny because it's like, I was just thinking like, oh, look at crafting. Look at all the years and decades it's had to come to in its full form of just making D-bodies for 8 hours straight. like, cool. Wow, that's great.
True form.
Awesome. Thanks. Glad it took 10 years to get there.
Anyway, though, we can move on to our Q&A period.
Yes, we do have Q&A. Thank you for asking your questions again, as always.
So Matt on Discord asked a sailing question. Do you think Jagex should update aspects of OSRs that already have a boat involved? For example, fishing trawler, canoes, cabin fever, etc. I think they should. I think like the canoes thing could be kind of relevant. Like your sailing level, like maybe you could just make like a cooler one. It wouldn't be a big difference, but I don't know how they would change aspects of it, but I think that it should be acknowledged that we're basically pro sailors. Like maybe you go to charter a ship and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like captain or something, and there's like more dialogue to be like, no, you buffoons, my ship.
No, I don't think so.
Let me have my fun. Why not?
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, you can have that
Let me
opinion.
have my fun.
I just don't think it makes like it doesn't need to like change everything about the game. It's not like non-canonical to have other people steering boats.
Yeah.
Other people are also sailors, so
I guess.
yeah, you don't have to do every boat. But I mean, the canoes is like a 5-second, like little cutscene.
That's why I think it'd be funny if you could just canoe it to look like a little what's the word? A little cruise ship, like a shrunken down cruise ship.
I mean, maybe it could
What's
be like
wrong with
it could be like an unlock or something like that, but I don't think
Yeah.
it needs to change.
Can you see other players when they're on the canoes?
You can see them cut it down.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can see them in it.
God, I wish you could see them when they're in it. Like, I'm sure doing leagues or something. There's just a bunch of people in little canoes.
Yeah, especially like going to the wilderness or
Yeah,
anything like
that's so funny.
that. Yeah, I think that would be a cool idea. Maybe if there were unlocks or something like that, like maybe if you already have, it could do like, the code could do a check and be like, do you have a galley? And it's like, oh, you have a galley, then your character will say, oh, I have a ride or something, and then you can like take your boat. But then it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that works thematically in the story and stuff like that. So I think there's probably too many things there and probably just way too much work. I think it would be cool, but I think realistically it would just take too much time because they would essentially just be remaking that quest for like practically no gains.
Just a little bit of dialogue, yeah.
Yeah, especially because chances are people doing those early on quests don't have high enough sailing to like have a boat for multiple people.
I wonder how it's going to affect chartering ships, because are we going to be able to dock there? I'm sure. I feel like some of the ports, they're going to, for whatever reason, be like, oh, your character can't dock here.
Oh, yeah, it's only certain ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, no one will ever charter a ship ever again.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, I think it's still worth chartering ships because, like, straight up as a like.
Oh, you don't have to actually sail it. You could just click. Boom,
yeah, exactly. As a time cost thing, it's like instant versus you like, all right, well, I have to get into my ship.
Well,
now I got to steer my ship.
you get
Oh,
XP.
we got bad winds.
Yeah.
Like
True.
I think it's a cool idea, but I don't think they would go for it.
Yeah. Next is from Harger on Discord. 2 questions. So last week, our fitness conversation led me to ask a real life question, probably more for Rob since I know he used to do heavy lifting. What do you feel about ass to the grass barbell squats versus just below the knees? I personally prefer going all the way down.
Yeah, this is.
We talked about this yesterday because I was like,
yeah,
I don't squat low anymore.
Michelle
I used
doesn't
to.
like squatting.
I used to, and then like I've just gotten so weak. Like I probably should. Now I do squats, but I only do them to like chair length, so like not very low.
Yeah.
And I was asking Robert, I was like, I don't want to do that at the gym because it feels embarrassing. And he was like, no one cares how low you squat.
Literally,
Which
no
I was surprised because I thought you'd be like, ass to the grass.
I mean, unless you're one of the people that literally puts on like every 45 that they can possibly find within eyesight and then proceed to do like if you put all that on and then you do calf raises, fine, brother, go ahead.
What are calf raises?
That's the thing that we do, like the calf press. You can do that.
You just go on your little tiptoes.
Yeah, if you're just going on your tippy toes, because you can do a lot of weight in a calf raise.
It made me feel very strong.
Whatever, but if you're doing like literally 2-inch depth, like squats with every single weight possible, just leave.
You're gonna just take off the weight.
You're wasting everyone's time. You could just use a machine for that, and also you're not helping yourself at all.
Do you have a preference of which kind of squat you like?
I think the most productive, best for the body based on as far as my knowledge goes. I don't, read the literature every day. I do keep up on it mostly, but I think full range of motion, which is, A to G.
Ass to grass
is probably the best, not just for your knees, but as long as you can do it and it's comfortable for you to do it, I think you should do that.
Is it good for your knees?
Well, yeah, it's just, it's not bad for your knees.
My knees pop all the time. How to stop?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That sounds
Oh
like
my
a
God, never mind.
doctor
Continue what you were
situation.
saying.
But yeah, like, but that being said, like, if you can, this is exactly what I told Michelle. I was like, if you can only go like, 45 degrees, that's fine. If you can go 90 degrees, that's even better. If you can go to the ground, that's the best, in my opinion. But I used to go as far down as I could,
Mm-hmm.
but then I started getting some knee pain. So now I just don't go as far. I go slightly below parallel, which is slightly below 90 degrees, and that works for me.
Hmm.
Honestly, unless you're doing a weight competition or are an Olympic lifter, you'll never need to go below parallel realistically, unless you're like someone that frequently squats or sits on the ground. Yeah, so it's honestly just whatever's comfortable for you.
Okay. Non-judgmental answer. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean it's kind of like personal finance. It's a personal fitness. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It's it's
You,
there's no standard. We're not in like a military unit. Like you do whatever you want.
you didn't see the other day. We were doing shoulder presses, and he went to a machine. Just because it was so busy, I was like, just go there while I finish.
Yeah.
And I was having such a hard time like pushing. Maybe it was the chest press. I don't know, doing something pressing forward. My left arm is so freaking weak.
Oh, yeah, it was shoulder press.
Yeah. And I like start like pushing with my body and like angling it weird to lift it up. And you didn't see, but I like Loki lifted up my legs and were kicking them out straight. And then after I finished, I was like, why did I just not do that one?
No, that was the chest press.
Why did I just not do that one? I just kicked my legs out. Like, why?
It's funny. I had told her at the beginning of
Goofy.
at the beginning of our sets and reps that I was all like, just make sure you're not cheating yourself by lifting your butt or your legs.
Yep, I lifted my legs.
Yeah. And
I look goofy.
it seems weird, but yeah, people almost always end up doing that.
The thing is, you don't do it consciously.
No.
You just do it and then you're like, whoa, why did I do that? That's embarrassing.
It's weird. Especially
It's so weird.
It's weird that your body naturally does that, especially because you actually derive more power by keeping those two body parts.
That's what I was thinking too. I was
connected.
like, no part of lifting my legs makes my chest stronger.
Nope.
I feel like it would make it weaker.
Yeah.
Because I don't have support. And it's a mental thing, I guess. It was really weird.
Yeah. It is really weird. But yeah, generally just whenever you're lifting, try to do things as full range of motion as you can.
Full range, lifting up your legs all over.
Exactly, yeah. As long as it's comfortable. Don't do things that hurt. Even if your homie that's gigantic is like, your elbows have to be here when you're benching, but if you feel like you're about to tear your rotator cuff, you probably shouldn't
just
do
don't do
that.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, generally a good rule.
Last question, also from Harger, relating that question to RuneScape. What is the equivalent in RuneScape of the guy who stacks the weight super heavy in the barbell but only goes like a quarter of the way down, aka what you're just talking about?
Yeah.
But not because he's doing that as an exercise, but because he thinks he's really cool squatting that much. That's a hard question. I don't have an answer.
My initial answer was anyone that buys their account.
Someone that buys Inferno.
Yeah. Like it's all like, oh, you went from being like an 1800 total with like full obsidian, and then a month later you have full Torva and an Inferno cape. It's like
Blorva.
And you're asking people why they don't have theirs.
Yes. That's the difference. That's the difference between an exercise versus showing off, is getting an Inferno cape because you like genuinely want that extra strength or whatever.
Yeah.
Getting Inferno cape to be rude to other people and be like, why don't you have your Inferno cape?
Yeah, it's
completely
like
different vibe.
That, or it's like you have a full, Torva scythe, and you're at, like, I don't know, let's say you're at the new bosses, the double giants.
Mm-hmm.
You're with, a quote unquote partner doing it. You do the whole boss. The part that makes you this guy is whenever you ask, why'd you do so little damage? Or why aren't you keeping up? Or why am I having to cover for you? If you ever do anything like that, you're that guy.
Yeah, don't do that. People do that to me as a joke.
Yeah, people are already like,
throw up.
People already in the back of their mind are like, damn, this guy is Blorva. That's like really sick.
Yeah.
But when it's like, the alpha mentality, like once you tell someone you're an alpha, immediately it's revoked.
As soon as you start harassing other people about not doing as well, I mean, it's if you're like encouraging them, like, oh, you should do it. But I've definitely had people that I'm like pretty sure have bought their cape that are like, when are you gonna get your cape? You should get your cape. Like, I got mine first, and I'm like, I don't think you got your cape. I'm just saying, I don't think you got it, but whatever.
As long as you're trying to bestow yourself with that title, you're that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably about the point.
This is my other little, I don't know, like hot take, is that I don't really care if people bought Inferno capes and stuff unless they do that, where they're like harassing other people for not having it. I'm like, bro, if you want it, if it makes you feel cool, like if you want that extra stats, whatever, but don't start annoying me about not having it because you bought yours.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Yeah, I honestly kind of don't care if people buy things in this game because it's not a competitive game.
Only if they start bragging and being like douchey.
Yeah.
Then it's like not fun.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's not like you're going for like a world first or like a title or something like that. It really doesn't matter. So if you do buy stuff, it's not a big deal. Just don't ask other people what they're doing or try to flex it in some way.
That's why I could never buy anything, because I'm also an oversharer. So if anyone asked me, I'd get so awkward and be like, "Oh, I don't know. I just like found this on the ground."
Yeah. Also, it's really obvious. I mean, unless you're like pretty much a good player that's there and just doesn't want to put in the work, then you could probably fool someone. But it's like generally it's pretty easy to tell if you're like one of those players or not.
I have a hard time telling when people buy it.
Oh,
because people are like, someone in chat says like 80% of Inferno capes are bought. I don't believe that.
No, I don't think
it's a lot less. But I'm like, I just assume everyone that has it didn't buy it.
I think it's a really big number.
I don't think it's that big though, because the thing is, the people who know it so well, and they like make guides and help other people to get it.
Yeah, that's true. But also a lot of people have been playing this game for a long time.
I don't even know how many people have Inferno capes. Maybe that'd put it in perspective for me.
I was just thinking, think about how long people have been playing this game, and if, over that time span, they've been able to save up the, mental fortitude or just the straight up money to spend $200 on a cape just because it'll make them feel better. Chances are they'll do it.
Yeah, that's fair. And everyone already knows me and Robert's thoughts on Inferno. That sounds awful.
Yeah, no, it's just, I don't think it's
so
good
much
content.
time.
Yeah, I don't think it's good content.
I'll do it eventually.
But yeah, cool if you like that.
Yeah.
Cool if you don't, whatever. But that's
I'll make the poll this week. Did you buy your Inferno cape?
Did you buy your cape? Or you just ask if you bought either the fire cape or the Inferno cape.
We're gonna assume it's fire cape.
I'm sure that the fire cape is very inexpensive. I don't know how much it is.
It's like $1.
I don't know how much it is. I know the Inferno cape is around 200, a little over.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Inferno is not even that much because so many people know how to do it so well and quickly.
Yeah, they do it in like an hour based on your setup or whatever.
That actually makes me feel very hopeful that I could get it some days, being like, someday I could be so good it'll be like 5 capes, like it won't matter.
Yeah.
Right now it sounds painful and awful.
And they do it for anyone that is wondering.
They do it without the Slayer helm. By the way,
they do it without the Slayer helm, and anyone wondering how people don't get caught is they will actually like
go to your house. They'll fly out.
No, they'll remote into your desktop, so it'll pretty much show that you did it.
That is so scary to allow a stranger.
So they can do it.
to do that.
They can do it with the like MS increase, the lag increase on your own computer, and still be able to do it.
There are people who sell them are honestly gamers. Like, respect.
But yeah, that's it.
Do our outro.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, there's a cat and she's very needy.
She's a baby.
But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed this week's episode. If you also want to ask us questions about, if we bought our Inferno capes or anything else.
We bought our fire capes. We don't have Inferno capes.
Yeah, you can feel free to ask us at any of our socials.
Our Twitch our TikTok and Twitter, Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky are all Bunebape. I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. I have an unsired that I got off stream last night that I'm going to open up on stream Friday, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time if you want to come stop by. Hopefully it's pet, but I only have 300 KC, so that'd be crazy. I've gotten 5 unsired and 300 KC.
Nice.
I'm really lucky. Anyway, come hang out with me.
Yeah, so that's it. Hopefully you all enjoyed this episode, and if you did, we'll see you all
very soon.
Bye-bye.